Prophets throughout the world and throughout the ages have stated have said that the purpose of man is to worship God.
That's right.
Can you tell me why they have come to this conclusion?
Okay, thank you.
Prophets from all ages, from all countries, are agreed on this one fundamental that man must worship God. The manner of worship is different, but the essence of worship remains the same. Subjugation to the will of God and to try to gain closeness upon Him through worship. Now, the word worship is not perhaps sufficient to explain the meaning of what we are discussing. Islamic terminology is much better and expressive and leaves no room for any doubts. The Holy Quran uses the word of ibadah instead of worship. Worship may mean just to bow your head to some superior authority and prostrate yourself and pay homage to his greatness. The word ibadah does not mean that. The word ibadah means that you become a perfect slave of God voluntarily, leaving nothing of your own desires against the will of God. So subjugate yourself and follow Him. So the word ibadah also has the root meaning of following a path slavishly behind a leader. Whatever he does, you do. So the meaning of worship which transpires from this is simply this, that you try to imitate the way of God, the character of God. So you cannot worship unless you know who God is, unless you learn His attributes. And when you learn His attributes and genuinely try to acquire them, then it is you who improve, it is not God who benefits. Because if you follow and imitate a perfect model, who would gain? You can't add to perfection anyway. Even if you reject him, it wouldn't hurt the model who is perfect. Even if you follow it, it will not add to the beauty of that model which is perfect. But it will be you who will begin to improve. And because God's attributes are described by the Holy Quran to be eternal and to be limitless, so the journey becomes an endless journey of constant evolution, but spiritual evolution in this case. So this is ibadah. So that is why when we recite the holy Surah Fatiha in the prayer, in every rakat, in every part of the prayer, we are expected to concentrate on the meaning of the four fundamental attributes of God, which in fact cover all the rest of the attributes. They seem to emanate from them, which are, number one, Rabbul Alameen. All praise be to Allah, who is the sustainer and provider of all the universes, not only of man, of all the animals, all the things living or inanimate, the entire universe and all the universes which may be other than ours. He it is who sustains them and provides them. Number two, Ar-Rahman. He is so gracious, so beneficent, that He gives you without your asking for it, without your begging. Now this is a fundamental attribute of God, because before we were born, we were provided for all our requirements of all ages of human development. As we vacate one area, make an exit from an era, not area, one era, of human progress and enter the next, we find already the provisions being there to meet the requirements of our advanced scientific knowledge and know-how. The material is already there, which we had not recognized before. And there is no dearth of material to keep pace with human scientific development and advancement. This is the meaning of Rahman. Before a thing is conscious enough of its own requirements and begs to God for the provision of such things, God has already provided for everything which one may need. This is Rahman. The translation is, who gives without asking for it. And the second is Rahim, the third attribute which we mention in every prayer, in every rakat. Rahim means the one who continuously rewards you for all your labors, favorably so. He rewards your labor more than it earns. And this is a constant attribute in operation eternally. So that one season of sowing is gone and another comes, and then the first one is repeated. Year after year after year, you are given new opportunities to put in labor and enjoy the benefits of your labor. This is Rahim. And Rahim means one who is not only beneficent, but who is also constantly so, and rewards you more than you have earned. The fourth is the Malik-e-Yawmiddin. God is the master of the day of judgment, which means that whatever you do here, you will be held responsible and questionable for that in the next world to come, when all the proprietary rights will be returned to God, when you will be dispossessed of all the rights which were provided to you by God, then He will be the only master of that day. So you be careful of how you behave and conduct yourself in this world. After these four attributes, where we are taught to address God directly after this, Iyaka nabudu wa iyaka nasta'in. It is this word nabudu to which I was guiding your steps. It is ibadat, which means, oh God, if you are that perfect, if you are the creator of the beginning, if you are the provident of all that you have created, all the universes, if you are so beneficent, if you are repeatedly mindful of our requirements, and if you are the final judge, then whom else can we follow? Thee alone do we worship. Thee alone do we imitate. Thee alone do we try to follow in thy attributes. This is the meaning of worship here. But how can we do that? What power do we have? It is a difficult task. To follow a perfect model is no easy task. When you begin to do it, then you know the difficulties. So the next part of the Surah Fatiha, verse of the Surah Fatiha, perfects this whole exercise by declaring or teaching man to pray, wa iyyaka nasta'in. Thee alone we worship, and thee alone, from thee alone we seek assistance to be able to worship you. Or worship thee if you use the archaic expression. So there's more to it, but I think that should be sufficient for the time being. The concept of worship in the Holy Quran is not just a lip service to or a homage to be paid to God. It is to improve your own quality by imitating his virtues and by entering a path of everlasting evolution.